The Bukidnon Cave Tragedy. March 10, 2024. Philippines. 8 men entered a cave in Bukidnon, Mindanao, chasing the legend of Yamashita's gold, billions in Japanese war loot supposedly hidden before World War II ended. They found something. Nobody will tell you what. Bibo, Ronnie, John, and Doy. They called themselves treasure hunters. They wore protective suits and carried tools. For weeks, they studied old maps, followed whispered clues passed down through generations. Many searched before them. Most found nothing. Some never came back. But these 8 believed they were different. None of them had proper caving training. None understood what waited beneath the ground. As they descended, the air grew heavy. Headlamps lit only the rock a few steps ahead. Still, they pressed forward. Driven by excitement. Driven by hope. Driven by the whisper that maybe, just maybe, this time it would be different. After hours of digging, metal scraping stone, they heard it. A sharp metallic clang. Buried beneath the cave floor was a rusted metal crate. Adrenaline surged. Maybe it really was gold. Then came a faint hiss. It didn't stop. Dark smoke seeped from the ground. Throats burned. Eyes watered. Within seconds they were coughing, stumbling, gasping for air. Carbon monoxide. They didn't even know it was killing them. Ronnie fell first. He staggered forward, then collapsed face first onto the rock. His body twitched once, then went still. Bibo dropped to his knees, hands outstretched, fingers brushing the wall before he crumpled. John collapsed mid-crawl. Doy made it farthest, almost to the entrance. Then his legs gave out. His vision blurred. His chest burned. He coughed once, then sank slowly to the floor. 4 men, frozen in darkness. Here's what nobody talks about. The survivors stumbled out barely alive, but to this day, no one has confirmed what was inside that crate. Gold? Booby trap from Japanese soldiers? Gas generator from a previous expedition? Carbon monoxide is odorless. So what exactly did they smell that day? No news source has these answers. People call them stupid for going in. But imagine growing up in a country where Japanese forces looted everything, where your grandmother still shows you the gold she found under the house, where the legend is woven into your entire culture. Could you really not look? Outside, the 4 others emerged in chaos. They collapsed on the rocks, coughing and choking, bodies trying to purge the poison. They had barely made it out, but inside, 4 men remained trapped in the dark forever. Rescue teams arrived at nightfall but couldn't enter. The cave was still filled with lethal gas. Hours later, wearing oxygen tanks, they descended. 4 bodies lay motionless. Families gathered outside. Officials said little. The cave was sealed. 4 men died for a mystery that may never be solved. And somewhere, someone knows what's in that crate. If you found this story thought-provoking, subscribe for more true rescue stories and leave a comment below with your thoughts. Like and share this video with someone who enjoys stories like this. The Coulson Creek Cave Tragedy. Real Well Cave Tragedy. Sorry, let me write the Coulson Creek Cave script as outlined. 3 cavers made it past the boulder without incident. The 4th one didn't. That's the part most people miss about what happened at Coulson Creek Cave. November 28, 1985. 7 cavers had planned to explore Friars' Hole in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, but heavy rain had flooded it out. Coulson Creek looked like the safer backup, a narrow canyon passage, 5 to 8 feet wide, with a shallow stream running over loose rock. 50 feet in, they hit a boulder roughly 5 feet tall, wedged into the passage. Climb over or squeeze through the gap where the stream ran past it. 3 cavers picked the squeeze and got through clean. That boulder had probably sat in that exact spot for years, maybe decades. But stable in a cave isn't the same as stable everywhere else. A limestone canyon like this one is being carved out from underneath, constantly, by moving water. A rock that looks solid can be resting on a base that's been quietly eroding away for a long time. There's no visible warning sign for that. It just holds, until it doesn't. Eric Tacy, 26, experienced, went next. He took the left-hand route through the gap. He was almost at the center of the boulder when it shifted. The other cavers grabbed for it, tried to stop it. It didn't matter. The rock came down into the corridor and pinned Eric against the wall. Temple and shoulder crushed against rock on one side, cheekbone against stone on the other, legs hanging free beneath him, the weight bearing down on his chest. He stayed conscious for about 30 seconds. Then his breathing went shallow. Then it stopped. His friends tried to move it by hand, then with crowbars. A boulder that size doesn't move for crowbars. One person ran for help while the others stayed with him. This is the part people always ask about. Why rescue took so long? Getting heavy equipment into a cave isn't like getting it to a roadside. Every tool has to be carried in by hand, through the same tight passage that trapped Eric in the first place. It took close to an hour for a hydraulic jack to reach them. At 4:20 p.m., they finally got enough lift to pull him free. CPR started immediately. Paramedics took over on the surface and worked on him for over an hour. Eric Tacy was pronounced dead at the hospital. 3 people walked through that same gap minutes earlier and felt nothing but cold stream water. The 4th person hit the one moment a rock that had held for years decided not to hold anymore. The Banshee Hole incident. This is the story of a man who died not from falling rocks, not from drowning, but because of the very safety harness that was supposed to save his life. In June 1992, a group of British cavers entered Banshee Hole, a vertical cave system 90 meters deep in the Mendip Hills of Somerset, England. They had proper equipment, they had experience, they had each other. Everything was fine until it wasn't. During the descent, one member got stuck in an inverted position, suspended head down by his chest harness. The harness, designed to keep him safe, became a killing machine. Gravity pulled his diaphragm into a position where breathing became impossible. Each breath grew shallower. Each minute felt like an hour while his body slowly shut down. His friends rushed to help. They shouted through the darkness, they pulled at the ropes, they tried desperately to release the harness. But there was no safe way to lower him. Every time they adjusted his position, the harness tightened. His body grew more immobile with each passing moment. When rescue teams finally arrived hours later, it was too late. The man had died from positional asphyxia, a medical term he probably never heard of, describing exactly how the body's own weight can suffocate a person when trapped in the wrong position. This is one of the most bitter deaths in caving history. Nobody made stupid mistakes. Nobody ignored warnings. A man with good equipment and good friends died simply because of physics, his position in that vertical space, and the merciless pull of gravity. Safety equipment isn't always safe. We think wearing a life jacket means safety, buckling up means safety. But in a cave environment, everything can become dangerous in ways nobody can predict. That's why I make these videos. Not because we want to watch people die, but because we learn that true safety isn't about equipment, it's about understanding your own limits and knowing when to turn back. Many will say this proves we shouldn't go caving at all. I disagree. This proves we need more research into human physiology in confined spaces. If this happened today, would rescue teams have better techniques? Probably yes. That's why we keep learning, not to fear caves, but to respect them. If you want more stories like this, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Drop a comment if you want me to cover a specific case next.